When I see y'all dance, I get inspired. When I dance like Rohit, no, I felt free.
Wow.
I really felt like it's very inspiring to me when I see someone who is stuck but is trying. The doctor told me that you can't dance.
Yeah.
I said, अच्छा इससे
लड़ना है.
लड़ना है मुझे. So tell me more about your experiences in your journey. Like what has dance brought in your lives? Community and friends.
So because you were singing with a guitar in your hand in your first movie,
Yeah.
Chand
On that boat.
Sitare.
Oh, Chand Sitare.
I started doing that because I was like, man, I want to look like
You
him.
started playing
Like
or you
10%.
started?
Even I started learning guitar because of you, and then I saw you dancing. I was like, damn, man, this guy is something else.
Really?
I want to be at least 10% of him. And that's how my journey started. And thank you for giving me this beautiful life, yeah. Dancing, art, as an
I'm
artist, it's
so
because
happy to
you are
hear that.
responsible for
I'm
this.
so happy to hear that.
Yes, you are an inspiration.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For all of
yeah.
us. हर चीज है.
It's when I see y'all dance, and I have to say this so it's out of my so it doesn't block what I am feeling. When I see y'all dance, I get inspired, and I find myself lacking in so many ways that it makes me want to be better when I see y'all dance. And I
Well
don't know-
done, guys. Clap it up for yourself. Well done. That is amazing.
Absolutely.
That is amazing.
Absolutely. The grace and dance has also evolved so much. When I was like 12 years old or 13 years old, there were no real dance inspirations. They were very, very rare, and they were either like film stars who were like, there was Shami Kapoor, who I used to be crazy about. I used to love Mr. Bachchan's Grace, and then there was Michael Jackson. At that time there was hardly anyone else. Today there is so much influence and so many friends and so much material and content and so much inspiration on the net and in social media that I'm so happy to see the way it is evolving, spreading, and it's become its own. It's got its own life now.
It's a universe.
And it's so wonderful because I really I love movement. And movement is something that has so many benefits. It's all the hormones that get released in your brain.
That's true.
I have a feeling, and I have been suspicious of this since I was very, very young. I feel like if you can think through your body, if you can if you can think fast on your feet and your hands, then you're more intelligent. It makes you more.
Mind and muscle.
It makes you sharper. I'm telling you. I don't know if this has
But
been
you're more
proven.
like conscious. You become more conscious when
No,
you
but
move.
the amount of synapses that happen in your head because you're trying to learn and create a new movement, your brain really has to work really, really fast. And it's like they say that the way you do one thing is the way you will do everything. So if you're putting that much effort into every moment and detail of the finger movement and the eye movement and all of that grace that happens all together, then that's how your brain will adapt to everything that you will do in your life. So which is what is so wonderful about dance. And I really I feel like everybody should dance.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's
I
the
feel
motto.
everyone should dance. And I don't know what I feel when I hear people that nahi yaar mujhe aata nahi mujhe. Don't just shake them up. I feel like just do anything, but just understand. Start to move, man. Just start to move. Do you all have any like friends amongst you who didn't like dancing or didn't want to dance and then had like a changeover and started to dance?
We've had a lot of students who are very shy, and then they watch our videos, and then they've
No,
come
but they're
to
already
class.
students.
No,
They're
so
already
they've
students.
like now they're students,
Yeah.
but these are people who've been watching our videos over a period of time, and then they slowly have they gather the courage to come into class, and then they feel very happy that they tried it out.
Yeah.
But they were most of them are non-dancers.
Yeah.
So then once they get
But
into
is there such a thing? Non-dancer जैसी कोई चीज है?
No.
Actually,
No.
to be honest. Huh?
Absolutely not.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता.
Not trained.
Not
That's
trained.
what I meant.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
you've
see,
not been
there's
trained
there's a
before.
trained skill that you learn,
Lord.
right?
मुझे भी नहीं आता था.
नहीं आता था.
हाँ, मुझे नहीं आता था. मुझे बीट्स का भी पता नहीं था एक्चुअली होती क्या है. बस दोस्त ऐसे चढ़ा दिए एक दिन, गणेश चतुर्थी थी स्टेज पे, वो मैंने कर दिए 2-3 मोमेंट, मस्त डांस किया. उसके बाद से फिर कीड़ा
तो
लगा.
आप में था मतलब.
था, पर वो
था.
पता नहीं था.
छुपा
सीखता
हुआ
गया.
था.
हाँ, सीखता गया. फिर वो आपको देख लिया मैंने, तो बहुत ज्यादा.
अच्छा.
हाँ, फिर आपको देख देख कर सीखता गया.
That's amazing.
You have heard this a lot, but you have made so many people dance.
Yeah.
All age groups.
I think
All age
yeah,
groups.
I think 2000s was the time when your film came out, your debut film came out.
Yeah.
It was a movement.
Yeah.
Dance became a movement in India.
It became a thing.
But what in it worked? What do you think?
I don't know, maybe because there wasn't
I think
a
it-
stronger inspiration
Performance.
before.
I think
Yeah,
it's
what about it?
your
Because
styling
charm.
for me.
Honestly,
Your styling.
I don't consider myself like I'm not a trained dancer, and I think rhythm I have, rhythm मुझ में है, but I don't consider myself a great dancer.
But you enjoy.
But there is something else that works. तो मैं
Self
आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ
enjoyment.
मैं कि what do you think it is?
You
I
enjoy
really
it
want
and,
to understand it.
Before you, I think everybody was used to a very set type of Bollywood movement.
Yeah.
With you introduced how to expand the body in ways and dimensions which we had not seen before.
You created your own style.
you like when you see मैं ऐसा क्यों हूँ, your brain is literally forced to register your body can move this way, and you created that for that generation, right? Like we were literally in awe of how are his knees coming in while he's on his toes, while he's doing his head rolls in a certain way and coordinating. And let's be honest,
saying,
Hrithik,
yeah.
before this nobody did it.
In that place,
At that place.
that was all new.
Exactly.
Especially body weight.
We didn't know any of this. I mean, I think it was you
So
that
up until
started
then,
the
no
trend.
one had done that.
Exactly.
Bollywood is a lot of lip syncing. It started with a lot of lip syncing.
Yeah.
And you got like
There's a lot of thumka, jhatka,
enjoying,
but
feeling
nobody
the
did
song.
this
Yeah.
technical
Also,
way
there was
of
all of this going on. Huh?
shamak.
Even
Shamak,
disco
The,
dance.
yeah,
the
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, the
Dil to pagal hai.
Chakrabarti also.
yeah, thumkas and that's also fun.
No, it's
But
great
yeah,
fun.
it's a lot of fun. There is no movement that is bad. First of all, I really believe that it is the attitude that you adopt when you are doing a certain step that makes the step or breaks it. What makes it more attractive, I think, is the attitude. So whenever I get a step to do in my films, and this is, I think, something that I think has worked for me without knowing, कि जो choreographer जो step मुझे देते थे, I used to first see if I like it or not. Is it attractive to me?
Yeah.
Because you should not take on something that there is, if that, like a magnet, that force should be like, it should want, you want to meet it, you want to do that step. That urge should be there. So first I used to look for that. And second, I used to then practice to see how this step is being absorbed by my body. So my aim was never to do the step that the choreographer is showing me exactly. First, I would see what my body wants to do with it. Or I think because I was stubborn, ढीठ था मैं एकदम. हूँ actually.
Yeah.
ढीठ हूँ मैं. I know I'm an actor, I'm hired, I know I have to do this step. But can I just find my way? So I've always done the step as a version of what was shown to me. It might be a very, very small change from it, but it's a version of it. And I think that is something that we must, of course, when you're training a specific dance form,
Genre.
if it's a dance genre, if it is something that you cannot break, you have to do it that way, then it's fine. But for films, it's really important to give it a character, to give it like some emotion, and see how it sits on your body. And I think that is what worked for me. And I think this is something I want to keep saying to all the young aspiring people who want to be in films, who want to be good dancers, even in real life. that try and make it yours. Don't worry
Don't
about.
copy.
I mean, how much of this do you agree with?
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
So right now I'm talking on social media, right? There are so many trends going on social media. And I feel like each one of us of sitting over here, we will adopt our version of
Yeah.
that trend.
Correct.
We will not just do what everyone's doing.
Correct.
We
Yeah.
will try to find our way. So
Yeah.
even
Our
even
personality,
for me,
yeah.
if it is wearing a sari and doing a Western
Yeah. So it's your
dance,
expression
it's
of
my
it.
expression of
Yeah.
it. And if someone else wants to just, not dance indoors at home, wants to go
Yeah.
out in the garden or go stand on top of a bus and do it, or create your own version of
exactly.
that trend and just not follow the,
Yeah.
herd.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember I was going for one of these classes, one of these workshops, and the choreographer had put up a video that this is going to be the choreography. He had already taught the class in other places first, but then like one of the other students put up his version of that choreography, and कहते हैं ना कि like choreography पर चार चांद लगा दिए, I think it's that, and like when I saw that video, I was more inspired to learn it from the student because the student performed it in a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Was steps तो वही थे, but performer कोई अलग था. And I feel
Your
like
own
that,
flavor.
that changed the difference. I think it happened with like Chinmay also. So I remember me and Chinmay doing a tour last year. We did an India tour, and we called it the Dhamal.
Tour as in?
Dance tour. So
Dance
so-
tour.
Like dance workshop tour.
We teach.
It was called the Dhamal Duo tour. So both of us went and taught.
Explain to me what that means.
So essentially we just taught workshops
Yeah.
in 5 cities. So Bombay, Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, Ahmedabad. And I took one class. He took one class. But of
So
course,
you all traveled to these cities and you all stayed in each place for how long?
just
For a weekend?
for a weekend.
Weekend.
For a weekend.
In that weekend, you did workshops.
Workshops. Dance workshops of 2 hours. So 1 घंटा मैं सिखा रहा हूँ. वैसे basically मेरा 2 घंटा, इसका 2 घंटा, and then
अच्छा.
it's a session, it's a party.
was
And we belong, like, we represent Hindi film industry. That is something. So yeah, our songs are also all Bollywood and fun stuff.
But I remember that when in my last class in Bombay, so we finished the tour in Bombay, and I was teaching dance ka booth, and like at the end, so the class structure is 2 hours. You take the workshop, out of which 90 minutes is dedicated to teaching the students, and the last 30 minutes is dedicated to performing in front of camera. So we make a nice semicircle. 3-4 students come up in groups, or someone comes up in solo if they're really good. And like we just shoot it. And so I remember I told Chinmay that listen, Chinmay used to come to a solo. And then we put that video on YouTube. And if you see the comments on YouTube, they're like, oh, the guy in purple, because he was wearing purple, right? Because he performed it so well that day, like the guy in purple that just won my heart. But it's my choreography, right? But then you also have this guy who just made it
Interpreted it his own way.
because I'm a very
Yeah.
high energy dancer. Chinmay is a very smooth dancer. So of course, like my movements were not suited to his body, but he took his
Made
own
it his
style
own,
and made it his own.
I think that's the talent.
And that's the talent, you know.
Making things your own is the key.
You're very surprised by the workshop module. Like, did you know
I
that this
find-
all of us teach this
Yeah, all of
actually?
us
No, I know. I just wanted to know how you would actually do a tour, go to places, do a 2-hour class.
Workshop
So
session.
what it tells me is that you don't have to find time 3 days in a week to do a continuous workshop. You can, when you have a gap, you can do dance for 2 classes if you have a weekend.
Yes.
Exactly.
So this is a block in my head. That's why I got curious, because when I have gaps like this, when between 2 shoots, when I'm free for a week, why don't I do this? Why don't I do a
please
class?
come.
Please
You're
come to
always
class.
welcome.
Call us.
Why don't
all of us
I
would be more than willing to do a private free class.
Call us anytime you want.
You can call us all for a private
Yes.
session. We'll be more than happy to come.
It can't be free, because I believe effort must be rewarded. So that is separate. But so it opened a lock just now. I said, so 2 घंटे की एक class हो जाए. It's
It
not.
works as a mental therapy also.
Yeah.
Mental health के लिए भी, because I remember in Ahmedabad there was one girl who suddenly came और वो उसके cuts थे हाथों में.
Oh
And
my God.
I just saw her and she was like, so my mom is standing there. Actually, I tried suiciding 2 days back, but now they are helping me and they felt कि your workshop might be good for this, like just to enjoy and
Yeah.
stress थोड़ा दूर करने. I was shivering at a moment. I was
shit.
like, you come, you just now
Wow.
let's wait and watch. And I was just purposely trying to make her happy for almost 2 hours, and she was enjoying it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That was
Dance
that's
is a
like
therapy.
revolutionary. I mean, dance
It
can
is.
work as a
It is.
mental therapy.
Yeah.
It
People
is.
can just
Movement
move their body
is
and they
therapy,
feel happy.
isn't
All the
it?
endorphins and
Movement is
your brain is hitting.
Yeah. So in your workshops, you always have a bunch of students.
Yeah.
Yes.
No? तो कितने होते हैं एक क्लास में?
Depends on the venue as well.
We've
right?
had
Depends how popular you are.
300
300.
So अभी
we've
stadium
had
book करने
300
वाले हैं.
people in a class.
We've taught 300
Yeah,
people at a
it's
stretch.
us.
Where do you find a place where you can get 300?
Wedding-
to
That's
dance?
always the struggle.
Wedding
with us.
halls.
Huh?
Wedding hall.
Wedding
Wedding
halls.
Wedding halls.
Wedding
Okay.
halls.
We are on a
turf.
turf.
So right now, where are your classes?
In Bombay, we teach at
We teach in studios over here.
Studios.
In Bombay,
Yeah.
it's not 300. In Bombay, spaces are small, so we
we fit
we
100.
manage around
Yeah.
Wait, wait. So y'all live where?
150.
Live where?
in Andheri.
You live here
in
and then
yeah.
you teach in
Tra-
other places. as well.
Yes, yes.
So in Bombay, how many students would you teach?
We've
We-
taught 100 and
On an average, it's around 70 to 100.
70 to 100,
Yeah,
100 people.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a
Class.
That's
Yeah.
a
that's the max studio number you can get.
There's a studio called BU.
BU,
There's a studio
Studio
called Moonlit.
Moonlit.
Atrang's also.
There's a studio called
He also has his own studio
Atrang.
always. So yeah.
And where is this?
These
Andheri.
spaces
So,
are over
Andheri.
1,000 square feet. So it's
Where in Andheri?
Andheri.
Andheri,
Warsaw,
Bandra, Juhu also. no?
I
June.
think
There are
Andheri Bandra has
multiple,
all the studios.
Andheri Bandra
Past
is
few
Andheri
years, there
Bandra
are
is the-
multiple studios which have opened. So they have the whole workshop culture happening where different teachers come over the weekend, teach, and students come for that time slot and come and learn and
Acha.
that way.
Yeah. Okay. I really want to start this. To be able to do
It's
this.
super fun.
I wonder why I never did. I just stopped learning. I got too complacent. But this is opening a lot in my head.
It's like learning 40 seconds choreography in 90 minutes.
42
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, it'll be so much fun if I can identify something that y'all have done that I see and say, hey, this is what I want to learn.
Yeah.
yes.
And we do a 2-hour workshop,
Correct.
and I'll try my best and find at least something that starts me off in those 2 hours. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sounds like a plan.
It's actually a great plan.
But sir, I want to ask you
Yeah.
that
Yeah, if you guys have any questions you want to ask me, please
over
go
the
ahead.
years you've danced so much, you've learned so much. Is there a specific dance style that you really want to learn?
Yeah.
Like, is it a dance style? Because it's always been
Yeah.
Bollywood. There's a lot of flow and movement.
Hip hop.
Is there like any specific style that you feel I want to learn
So
that?
I've been terrible in like partner work. I've been terrible in that. I feel very relaxed when it's just me. You know? But when it's partner work, there is a certain synchronizing and coordinating. There's a beauty in that.
Yes.
I have never been able to, achieve
Same.
that.
The timing.
The timing and
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
that. And that takes, to grow with another person and have that kind of communication
And trust.
and trust
Yeah. Yes.
that has to build.
Yeah.
I think that is something I've never experienced. So one is that. I'm very fascinated by the ballet form, like the form,
Yeah.
just the long lines and the expanse of it and the flight of it. I was very fascinated by that.
Did you ever train in ballet?
No, so I had the opportunity in Guzarish where Ashley
With
Lobo
Ashley.
had, done a 1-month workshop with me. It was an incredible experience.
I'm sure.
So
Which song was this, if
uska-
I may ask?
Huh?
Which song of Guzarish was this?
There was a song. It was a flashback. Jaane Kisse
Jaane
Ki.
Kisse
Yeah.
Ki.
It's like a ball, and I was like holding the ball and I was swirling, and it was take ke time pe I was not able to get the 3 turns. Supposed to do 3 turns on
Pirouettes.
yeah, on the toe. And finally, after saying 2 hours, and then we had a lunch break, then we tried it again. Ek take mein aa gaya wo. So I was like, oh, thank God.
People train for 5 years, 6 years to get those 3
Yeah.
turns. It's very hard.
Very
So I
It's
got lucky.
very hard. So
Believe
you
me, I got lucky.
had a good center to find
got
those
very
3 in that smaller time. But who's been your favorite choreographer that you've
My favorite
trained with or
choreographer.
worked with?
Oh, I think it's always about the process. I have a favorite process, and anybody who fits in that process, we create amazing things.
Can we know the process?
The process is working with no egos,
Yeah.
full absolute communication. No feeling bad, and if you're feeling bad, express it.
Honesty.
Be honest and work hard. give me time to work hard.
Yeah.
You know, so if I अगर मैं बोलता था कि यार I want a month to rehearse for this, तो एक महीने पहले before a song to rehearse is unheard of.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
in India, for films, if you tell me,
Yeah.
if you tell someone I want a 1 month to rehearse, it is like, and especially if it's coming from me, they'll think I'm joking, because they would assume that I would learn it in 2
2
days.
days. Yeah.
So Prabhu Deva, Farhan in मैं ऐसा क्यों हूँ,
मैं ऐसा
they gave me a month,
Wow.
absolute 1 month they gave me. Mr. Bhansali gave me a month. In fact, he gave me 2 months to learn the ballad.
To learn.
So once you have time and you have will, and you just have to work hard then. So for me, it's that process, you know, where give me a chance to work hard. Yeah,
Are you a slow learner or
I'm a slow
quick?
learner. So I learn in installments.
Okay.
So I will first visually learn. Yeah, that's actually a really good thing to share. I want to know how you all learn as well. Like, what has been your process? My process has been like the first day I may just come and watch, and I may not get the instinct to dance, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it like a million times. I'll record it. I'll go home. I'll keep watching it. So first I learn it like visually, and then I start, you know, practicing. And so for me, it's say I can learn a step in 6 hours. Say a step or an entire
Count of 8.
one sequence. Say I learn that in 6 hours. So if I learn that in 6 hours at one go, I'll come to a certain point, like I can do it well. But if I do those 6 hours in 6 days, but it's the same 6 hours, but 1 hour each day, I will be incredibly exponentially better.
Good at it.
Because there's time to go back, and the feedback loop, when you sleep
Yeah.
at night, you think about the step. You know, I believe if I can do the step in my sleep, so if I'm sleeping, I can feel the entire step. You know, I can feel it. I can feel the impact. I can feel the finger. I can feel the neck. If I can feel the step while I'm asleep, then I can wake up and do like this. So until I reach that point where I can do it in my sleep, I keep practicing. Because the idea is to be able to understand, hear the music, and do the step in your sleep.
We'll try.
Once I can do that, which means I also have to learn the music. I have to know. I need to hear the detailed beats
Nuances.
and the, you know,
Nuances, yeah.
the nuances and all of that. The little things that you need to catch for a certain. Yeah. So once I can do it in my sleep, then
Observation
1 hour.
is something, yeah,
Observation.
that is needed. Observation, and you do
Yeah.
it pretty well.
I think that's all I do.
visualization.
That's all I do.
Visualization also, it works.
Yeah.
The
So what have been
thinking,
what's your process? Is this, are you all like just born amazing, or like
No way.
Tell me offbeat dance.
I never learned dance when I was a kid. I used to
Same.
watch it on TV
Yeah.
and try to match the steps
Yeah.
because
That's what I did. I did that with Michael Jackson. I used to watch him. I used to pause, play, and learn the step. That's what I did.
So the same thing, and even at my home, I was not allowed to enroll for dance classes because of the circumstances back then. So it was very difficult for me because I wanted to dance and I couldn't learn because there were not many dance classes back then. There were very few, like Shamak's dance classes, and few of them which I was not allowed for. So I used to watch it on the TV. I'm talking about like since second, third standard. Yeah.
You're not allowed.
No, not allowed. So,
Oh my.
That's
so sad.
so I started learning dance from watching the TV. And later on, I used to participate in the annual functions. And so that is where I used to fulfill all my dancing dreams
Yeah.
and everything. Then once I grew up and I tried to convince my parents, and with time, even they understood that, okay, dance is a thing, because back then dance was not really a respected form of thing. People used to think क्या है, background dancer बनना है क्या आपको, क्या career है dance में, यही people used to think. So it was very difficult to convince my parents and everything, but with time they understood, and then I met him. He's a choreographer and a teacher, so I used to learn dance from him, and I'm still learning. I don't call myself a very good dancer. I'm still learning, and I'm a very slow learner. So I watch him as you said, I record his moves and I watch the videos back and forth. And when I practice, I first try to, do the muscle memory thing, and then I put the energy and style in it later on. Once I get the muscle memory,
Same thing. Same.
and then I go all out
Yeah.
later on.
So yeah, first the memory of it needs to become automatic.
Yeah.
Then you got to switch off and see if you can just do it without thinking. Correct. So then it's
Yeah.
automatic.
Yeah.
And then I think of the emotion.
Correct. The
Yeah.
expressions.
Think of like
the
what
style.
is the attitude? You know, do you want to be stoic? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to?
And
Where
there are mix
where do
of
you wanna
emotions
go?
as well. Like somewhere you have to be
Oh, yeah,
like this, and then
yeah.
suddenly you have to be
Yeah.
different.
If you know, when you learn the music, it's better.
Yeah.
Because when you
Yeah.
can just say
Oh, yeah,
what the
yeah,
music
yeah.
is
Absolutely.
without playing it, you can
Yeah,
tell them, you can go
Teacher.
like, "Cha-cha-cha-cha-do." So everyone gets the rhythm.
Yeah, you know,
Absolutely.
it's very strange. So most of the actors, you know, we wait for the choreographer's assistant to go, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get that,
Yeah.
you get the timing. That distracts me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does for me
It
too.
distracts me because I have learned the music. So let me hear the music. Your 1, 2, 3 was coming in the way of my.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7. I'm
Yeah.
like,
And
what?
there are few of them, they say it in a very different way. So the music is
हाँ वो sync भी नहीं
अलग जा रहा है,
माइक
same
माइक
like
और
nothing.
स्पीकर के बीच में जो डिले होता है ना it's going off एक तो but it's not bothering anybody else everybody is like 1 2 3 4 and turn and start and I'm like अरे यार एक मिनट I can't hear the music
Yeah.
so it's so important what
Very
you're saying.
relatable.
Then learn the music once you learn the music you don't need
you don't need
you
it.
don't need the
free.
count you don't need I mean you can use the count if you still want it but
Then it's
Don't
the
need
flow.
yeah then flows
I think like most people they try to perform
Yeah.
before learning the step, right? For example, like if a script is given to you,
Yeah.
you'll start reading out in a certain emotion without learning the lines.
Correct,
Right? In a
correct,
similar
correct.
way, they start
Yeah.
learning the dance step and start performing. Right?
Yeah.
I feel something I tell most of like the students that have come to my class as well that for me it's like a cake, right? Where like your sponge is like your execution, where you learn the steps, you get it in your body, you memorize it, muscle memory, falana dhirana. Right?
Yeah, that's your foundation.
That's your foundation, right? And the next thing is your icing. Your icing is your energy and your texture. I feel like, but if there are holes in the sponge, icing won't go through it, right? So like your sponge has to be like complete, right? Next thing is the icing, right? And then like that's your energy and texture.
Hey,
and
nice.
Then,
I like that.
Yeah, and then your expression is the cherry on top.
Cherry on the
And you all favor.
I like that. Yeah, it's very nice. I'll use it. Definitely. That's that. Anybody else has anything to add to this? I want to know if
I
there's
want to talk
any
about
other-
the sponge. I think I'm also a lot more older. I have taught, I'm sure, a lot of people at some point in time. The sponge is the foundation,
Yeah.
which comes from training. If your training is not in place,
Yeah.
your vocabulary will only expand to so much so.
Yeah.
And there you cannot go beyond that. So the more you have trained yourself as an artist, as a teacher, as a dancer, you can give more and you can build more. If I've just learned one Lego block, there is only a certain tower I'll be able to
You
build.
can only do that.
But if I need to make Burj Khalifa, I need to be able to build in a lot more things to be able to add more, give more.
Yeah.
So that is at the end of the day, it comes down to that. Even as an artist, how much have you worked on yourself over the years to be able to teach someone or mentor someone? Then this is what your range will be. If you need to expand it, you have to grow. Even when I'm 70, I need to be able to learn. आज मैंने ये कुछ नया सीखा, आज मैंने यहाँ से कुछ पढ़ा, and I did that. And that's when I am growing. If I decide one day, listen, this is it, I've trained 20 years, I'm done.
No.
That is the end of me and
No,
my
absolutely.
growth
You have
and
to
my
remain a student.
progress.
Learning
There's
is
always
learning
room
is
for
important.
improvement and
So,
learning.
so the expression and the cherry on the top and everything will come in, but that if that foundation is not there, then it's just superficial.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
that can only take you to a certain limit of your age. After you finish your 30s or you come into late, then what happens to that?
No, true.
So,
What about injuries? Have you all had to
multiple,
deal?
Too many.
multiple,
Ankle and knee injury.
multiple.
Shoulder?
प्रैक्टिस कर रहा था एक बार तो पंचिंग बैग गिर गया था यहाँ पर
हाँ.
तो एक बार डिसलोकेट हुआ, फिर वो होता चला गया बार बार। मैं डांस
Oh
करता,
God, that's the worst.
स्विमिंग करता,
Dislocation हुआ.
होता गया। फिर डॉक्टर बोला कि यार ऑपरेशन करा ले, वरना फिर खराब हो जाएगा। फिर करवाया था।
Oh
They
God.
screwed.
उसके बाद वो बोला था कि डांस नहीं कर सकता है,
मुझे
मार्शल
भी
आर्ट्स
कहा था,
वगैरह कुछ
मुझे
नहीं
भी
कर
कहा
सकता। हाँ, मैंने पढ़ा है आपके बारे
हाँ.
में, स्पाइन में, एंकल, ब्रेन में। उसके बावजूद भी आप कैसे करते हो? जैसे मुझे तो आप मोटिवेट
नहीं,
करते
मुझे अपने बारे में पता पड़ा. ठीक ठीक है अभी.
हो। हाँ, पंच
Shoulder?
वगैरह नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन मैं
हाँ.
डांस करता हूँ ना, तब कुछ भी कर लूँ, कुछ नहीं होता।
हाँ, पता नहीं चलता.
हाँ,
Amazing. कब किया था ये?
ये
Operation?
2018 में हुआ था।
Recently हुआ.
ज्यादा टाइम नहीं हुआ। अभी जिम वगैरह भी करता हूँ तो सब ठीक है।
So डिसलोकेशन के लिए कुछ स्पेसिफिक एक्सरसाइजेज हैं, वो बताया था आपने?
बताया था पर
आपको
कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ा था।
अच्छा,
हाँ।
मैं दूंगा आपको
हम्म,
एक
हम्म,
2-3 ऐसे एक्सरसाइजेज हैं जो
हाँ।
दे वेरी वेरी गुड फॉर डिसलोकेशन, तो मैं बताऊंगा आपको.
You have to appreciate your body, rest it well, and then perform also at the same time.
Yes,
So
very
think
very
about your
important.
body
So
also.
how long do you all dance and how much of a break do you give your
Rest is important. Rest is genuinely.
So do you all diligently make sure that you're resting the body?
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, definitely.
Not really.
I means I
Now.
believe
Times.
like
Not earlier.
Not
because
really.
No?
You of course
Now,
with
yes.
Shavani
Not
ka.
So some of you are not
Timing
actually.
होता है.
How well do you all sleep?
Very
bad.
Very well.
Sleep really well?
Very well.
Very
Badly?
bad.
Very bad, yeah.
Very well.
Very bad.
I'm so
What time do you sleep
tired.
at night?
I just
sleep
want to
well.
Morning.
7 a.m.
7
8
a.m. What, binge watching?
That's our
he shoots
Something.
in the night.
Right?
No shoots
He shoots
and
in the
everything.
night.
Yeah, everything.
So all shoot in the night.
No, no, we sleep very well.
We sleep very
Sleep
well.
well?
Yeah.
Sleep well.
4 बजे उठ
No,
जाता
you
हूँ।
gotta take care of your sleep.
Sleep is
Man.
very important.
Yeah, I also had so many injuries here. So yeah, the doctor had told me that I should not dance because of the scoliosis which I had. Scoliosis की वजह से they said they got scared. They scared me.
Scoliosis is?
Spine.
Scoliosis. So my spine from
Spine.
when you see my spine from the front, it's not straight. It's like this. So there's like it's like this. So for that, because of that, the impact causes the spine to it's not straight. So you can't
Bend,
take the
yeah.
impact straight.
Impact, yeah.
It goes. That causes like slip discs and all.
Have you ever had restrictions in movements for films?
Yeah, all the time, man. All the time. But it also taught me so many things. I found other ways. I found other hacks, and that became fun for me. So I used to grab onto inches. Just like give me one edge here, one edge here. So like say if the bang bang step is a great example for this. There's a step in which when I'm going backwards,
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
for that step I was not at my best. So I learned that everything matters: the shoe, the floor, the friction, everything matters. So I used to then test on which shoe and which floor can I
smoothly.
get the right amount of friction so I can leap more and stop well,
Yes.
and but also slip off and
Yeah.
leap and stop again. So for that I changed some 9 pairs of shoes while we were doing that shot.
Super.
I just had taken all my shoes from my house. I had painted them all black. I got them painted, spray painted all black. And they were lying on the side. For each step I did, I wore a particular shoe that made that step easier for me on my knees because they were injured really, really bad. So to get the smoothness out, I used all of these tactics. So it worked out.
Like even Vikram Veda mein, you just nailed the character. Because
Hi.
we could see you grow as a performer.
Yeah.
Arey, yeah,
Like,
I love that character.
क्या
That
बात है, मतलब
song.
क्या-
It's चली नहीं
That
picture.
song,
It's
But
totally fine, but
दो
जो
बार
आपने दिखाया, that was revolutionary. That was like a new Hrithik.
Even
After
the
so
song
long.
and
Why
even the
not?
expressions in
Flawless.
the end, the way you
And you won't think
like,
of
it felt
him
like
when you think of the
unleashed,
character, like when you
you
think
were
of
having
casting.
fun.
You
I
think
was
of him.
having
I
fun.
was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I was like,
Enjoying
this is a different Hrithik.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. Maybe we can do a spin-off of just Veda.
Oh yeah.
A film.
watch that.
Just take that guy and just make a film.
Blow it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask one important thing. like we have a lot of favorite signature steps of yours. Which is your favorite signature step?
Yeah.
Like
My favorite
which one?
signature
I think
No,
That
I
is
don't
नहीं
think.
यार मैं खुद वो स्टेप मैं भूल गया हूँ
पर कौन सा एक है जो ऐसे
You know,
मजा आता है सोच
yeah.
के कि wow, I enjoyed that.
you know very
सारे
very
Bang
funny huh
Ghungroo?
Which one?
Bang Bang?
Ghungroo.
So Bang Bang is definitely one
Yeah.
yeah
The
that
fire.
particular one
Kite.
Ghungroo is also.
Ghungroo is a very nice one as well
Yeah. But one, if you have to choose just one.
just one which other
Kites.
other ones?
जिंदगी ना
जय
मिलेगी
शिव शंकर।
दोबारा
Jai Jai Shiv Shankar. Kites
वो
also, the
बोलिए,
fire.
Senor
Maybe
Vita.
Bara was which
Senor
one?
Vita.
Maybe also is it?
Then there's Dhoom also.
There's the go.
Oh my god
That is the Bachman
the choreography is actually a
Classic.
the choreographies are actually really really good in all
All
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah.
What did I enjoy most?
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed the Bang Bang one the most. Yeah.
Bang Bang is Vasco says.
I think Bang Bang and Ghungroo I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite will be, I think it's all, but when I see you do this step,
Actually, nothing can beat Rohit, man.
Oh my god.
You know, dancing like Rohit. Actually, I wanted to say that, but I said, "No, yaar, why?" I spoiled it. I thought it would not be a right answer.
No, but
It's your
you
favorite.
that character a lot.
yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult.
When I danced like Rohit, no, I felt free.
Wow.
I really felt like it's just pure joy of movement. It's like move, do whatever you want, and do it with that, that attitude of Rohit. It's so.
Yeah, the
What was
character is
like
good.
your training process for that character? Because it was just so different and so
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah,
I think
how
like it
free
brought
you
like the versatility in you as an artist as well.
That was my
For that
favorite.
character, I actually took a lot from my childhood. But the one thing I think I had, which I think made the character, is that I played him mentally challenged, but without self-sympathy.
Yeah.
Because मेरे में गुस्सा बहुत था. So I added that. I added anger, and I added stubborn, and I added dignity. You know that, no, I can.
I can do it.
I will. And he's serious about it.
Yes.
But he can't.
Yeah.
But what is inspiring about him is that, and this is something I believe for my life and all of us, is that when you are stuck in a hole, if you're gaddhe ke andar, if you're stuck, and if you're really trying to come out of it, if you're really, really trying, people will come and help. But if you're stuck and you just staying, I'm stuck, nobody will come. You'll be very, very lucky if someone does. So it's very inspiring to me when I see someone who is stuck but is trying. I want to help that.
Yeah.
That attitude is so inspiring. That I'm a rock bottom, लेकिन मैं हारूंगा नहीं. मैं कोशिश किए जाऊंगा. So that was something I put in this character, and it became special. I think that was the missing link, because all these characters are always portrayed as ones without, they make them sympathetic,
Yeah.
and they're actually not in real life. Also, all the people you meet who are handicapped in some way, there's a lot of dignity there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of strength.
Yes.
Of
Courage, strength, all of that, because they know they are उनके लाइफ में जो demon है, वो देख सकते हैं. It's right there. They have the handicap in front of them, so they know that they have to fight. Our demons
We don't.
are invisible. So it's a little harder. In fact, in a weird way, it's harder for us to find that inspiration because there is no face of a demon. But when you get it, it becomes easier. The struggle, the fight becomes much easier. It's like they say, if you want to write poetry, if you have pain, it becomes easier.
Yeah.
दर्द में लिख.
So the same way, when the doctor told me that you can't dance, you can't be an actor, I got my demon took shape.
Yeah.
I said, अच्छा इससे
लड़ना है.
लड़ना है मुझे, इससे अच्छा ये तो मैं कर लूंगा। दिख गया मुझे ना, एक बार demon दिख गया आपको, it's very easy, life becomes very easy. But it's when the demon's not there, then you have to do it out of love. Is that possible or not?
Yeah.
That's like the most hard-hitting thing.
Yeah.
Very good.
When there is no demon in your life, you have to find that love for it. You have to do it out of love and still reach the same amount of success. Is that possible or not? That should be the exploration of our life.